Legends and early history of Vietnam, legendary kingdoms. According to legend, the first ruler of the Vietnamese people was King Da Min, a descendant of a mythical Chinese ruler who was the father of Chinese agriculture. Da Min and an immortal fairy of the mountains produced Qin Duong, ruler of the land of red demons, who married the daughter of the dragon lord of the sea. Their son, Lac Long Quan, dragon lord of Lac, was, according to legend, the first truly Vietnamese king. To make peace with the Chinese, Lac Long Quan married O Ko, a Chinese immortal, who bore him 100 eggs, from which sprang 100 sons. Later, the king and queen separated. O Ko moved with 50 of her sons into the mountains, and Lac Long Quan kept the other 50 sons and continued to rule over the lowlands. Lac Long Quan's eldest son succeeded him as the first of the Hung, or Hung Bang, kings, Vong, of Vietnam's first dynasty. As such, he is regarded as the founder of the Vietnamese nation. This legend and other related legends, most of which received their literary form only after 1200 CE, describe in mythical terms the fusion, conflicts, and separation of peoples from the north and south and of peoples from the mountains and the coastal lowlands. The legends show the immortals as mountain dwellers, while the people along the coast are descendants of the dragon lords, a division found in many legends throughout Southeast Asia. The retreat of O Ko and 50 of her sons into the mountains may well be a mythical record of the separation into distinct groups of the Proto-Vietnamese in the Red River Delta. Those who left the lowlands could be the ancestors of the Muong, who still live in the hills surrounding the delta and are the only ethnic minority of Vietnam closely related in language and customs to the Vietnamese. According to legend, the Hung dynasty had 18 kings, each of whom ruled for about 150 years. Their country, called Van Lang, Land of the Tattooed Men, is said to have included not only the Red River Delta but also much of southern China. The last of the Hung kings was overthrown in 258 or 257 BCE by a neighboring warlord, Tuc Phan, who invaded and conquered Van Lang, united it with his kingdom, and called the new state O Lac, which he then ruled under the name Nduong. O Lac existed only until 207 BCE, when it was incorporated by a former Chinese general, Truda, Chao Tu in Chinese, into the kingdom of Nam Viet, Nan Yu in Chinese. Nam Viet, this kingdom covered much of southern China and was ruled by Truda from his capital near the present site of Guangzhou, Canton. Its population consisted chiefly of the Viet who had earlier been driven by the Chinese from their kingdoms south of the Yangtze River. Truda, after ending Chinese domination and killing all officials loyal to the Chinese emperor, adopted the customs of the Viet and made himself the ruler of a vast non-Chinese empire. After it had incorporated O Lac, Nam Viet included not only the Red River Delta but also the coastal lands as far south as modern-day Da Nang. The end of O Lac in 207 BCE marks the end of Vietnamese legend and the beginning of Vietnamese history. As recorded in Chinese historical annals, After almost 100 years of diplomatic and military duels between the Han Dynasty of China and Truda and his successors, Nam Viet was conquered, 111 BCE, by the Chinese under the Han Emperor Wudi. Thus, the territories occupied by the ancestors of the Vietnamese fell under Chinese rule. Nam Viet was divided into 9 military districts with Chinese names, the 3 southernmost of which, later called Jiao Chao, covered the northern half of what is now Vietnam.